So Craig, for people that haven't heard about it, what is the first homeowner's guarantee?
The first homeowner's guarantee is in effect a government scheme which allows people to get into the property market with less money than they would otherwise need. So if you buy a property and you, generally speaking, have less than 20% deposit, you pay mortgage insurance. Mm-hmm. The first home buyer scheme lets you buy with only a 5% deposit, and by the government guaranteeing it, there's no mortgage insurance fee.
And that's provided you haven't, it's the first time you've ever bought a property.
Exactly, that's correct. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting one, Robbie. We've got some clients right now who are New Zealanders, but they're working here in Australia. They're New Zealand citizens residing in Australia, working here full time, and they're entitled to the government scheme as well.
Right. So, do you have to live in the property?
Yes, you do.
Right.
And there are restrictions around how long you need to live in it. There are restrictions around which lenders you can use. There's only a certain amount of banks that are actually part of the scheme. Mm-hmm. There's a number of little restrictions around it, but it definitely can help people get into the property market early.
Excellent.
And I know you've got 3 kids, mate, so it is something you've got to worry about with your own kids. How are they possibly going to get into a property market later on?
Well, that's why I asked the question, Craig. I thought I could probably get them in to an investment property with a 5% deposit, but
unfortunately not investment, mate.
Well, I might have to kick them out of home and then they can buy their own property. So how is this different than the traditional way of buying a property with a 20% deposit?
Well, the main thing is that you just get in earlier. So it became a real barrier for people to save enough money to get to a 20% deposit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, the median property value is $1 million these days. So you need to, $200,000 plus all your costs to get into a property. The first home scheme lets you get in with 5% deposit, which is $50,000 in that case, and you also get some other potential reductions along the way with stamp duty, etc.
Excellent. Because then if you only had 10%, you're paying mortgage insurance.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So you really needed 20%.
Yeah, you needed to, yeah, exactly. It was a sliding scale. If you had 19% deposit, you would still pay some mortgage insurance.
So as the market was going up, people were chasing the market and just never get in there.
We actually have, and I hope they're not watching this when I say this because they know exactly who they are, but we've got some clients who are long-time friends of mine who've been waiting 8 or 9 years to enter the market.
Jeez.
And they were always waiting to get to a certain stage with a certain deposit for a certain property, and unfortunately the property kept getting accelerating ahead of what their savings could. So they're still yet to enter the market.
So it's actually possible to buy a property with a 5% deposit?
Yes.
This is achievable?
This is very achievable. All the first home buyer schemes right now, that is exactly what they are. There's actually some schemes where you can get in with a 2% deposit, but that's a little bit more limited. But it is definitely possible right now. Under a certain level, you don't pay stamp duty.
Okay.
So 5% deposit plus some other costs like some legal fees and a few other costs. But it is very possible now to get in towards the lower end of the property market with only 5% and change.